Hello and welcome back to another helpful episode here at Easy English Listening. I am so glad you are here with me today. Thank you for taking the time to learn and grow with us. This podcast is not just about getting better at English. It is also about looking at ideas that help us live better and more meaningful lives. So, if you want to speak English more confidently and think more deeply about things, you are in the right place. Today, we are talking about something that many people have heard about, but not everyone takes the time to really understand. It is called core values. You might have seen this term in books, on websites, or in talks that motivate people. But what does it really mean? And why is it so important? Core values are the strong beliefs that you hold deep inside. These beliefs guide how you act, the choices you make, and even how you feel about things. They are like hidden rules that you follow in your life. They are the things that are most important to you. For example, some people think honesty is the most important thing. They always try to tell the truth. Other people might care a lot about freedom. They want to be able to do what they like without too many rules. Some people value kindness, which means being nice to others. Others might value creativity, like making new things or ideas. Or family, which means putting loved ones first. These core values help shape the kind of life you want. They affect how you use your time, who you spend time with, and what kind of job you pick. But here is something interesting. Many people never stop to think about their own core values. They never ask themselves, what are my core values? Because of that, they sometimes feel confused or stuck. They might even feel unhappy, but they do not know why. Have you ever felt like that? Like something is missing in your life, but you cannot explain what it is? That feeling often means you are not living in a way that matches your values. When you do not know what is really important to you, you might follow what other people do instead of following your own path. In this episode, we are going to look closely at how to understand your own core values. We will see why they are so powerful. You will learn how values affect your life every day. You will learn how to notice them in yourself. And you will learn how to live in a way that feels true to who you are. I will share some stories from my own life. I will give you practical examples that you can use. And I will ask you some questions to think about. All of this will be in clear and natural English. This is the kind of English that helps you talk to real people in real situations. So, let me ask you a question to start. Have you ever made a choice that felt wrong, even if other people thought it was good? Or have you said yes to something when you really wanted to say no? If you have, do not worry. Everyone has done that at some point. Those moments are like hints. They show you the values that you might not have seen yet. By the end of this episode, I hope you will feel more connected to yourself. And I hope you will feel more confident in your English too. So, take a deep breath, get comfortable, and let us start. What are core values really? Let us begin with a basic question. What are core values really? You have probably heard the words before, but sometimes they can seem a little unclear or hard to grasp. The truth is, core values are not hard to understand, but they are very powerful. At the center, core values are the beliefs that are most important to you. They are the things you care about deeply. They guide how you behave. They help you decide what is right or wrong for you personally. A good way to think about core values is like a compass. A compass is a tool that shows you the direction when you are lost in a forest. In the same way, your values help you find your way when life feels confusing or uncertain. You might not always see your values clearly every day, but they are always there, working in the background. If you pay attention, they can guide you. Here is another way to think about it. Imagine you are building a house. The bottom part, called the foundation, needs to be very strong. If it is weak, the whole house might fall down. Your core values are like that foundation for your life. If your values are clear and strong, it is easier to build a life that feels balanced and full of meaning. It feels true to who you are. But if you do not know your values, you might build a life that looks okay from the outside, but inside, it does not feel right. You might feel shaky or unstable. Let me give you some examples of common core values to make it clearer. One popular value is honesty. If you value honesty, you probably feel bad if you have to lie or hide the truth. Even if it is hard, you want to be truthful. Another value could be growth. If growth is important to you, you like to learn new things. You enjoy challenges that help you get better over time. Some people value freedom a lot. They want to feel independent. They like making their own choices and living life their way. Others might value family above everything. They always think about how their decisions help their loved ones. There are many other values too, like kindness, which means being gentle and helpful to others. Fairness, which means treating everyone equally. Creativity, which is about imagining and making new things. Discipline, which means sticking to your goals. Peace, which is about calm and no fighting. Faith, which could be religious or believing in something bigger. Adventure, which is seeking excitement. Success, which is achieving your goals. And purpose, which is having a reason for what you do. Each person has their own special set of values. You might have some that are the same as your friends or family, but no two people are exactly alike. That is what makes values so personal and strong. They come from your own experiences in life, from your culture, how you grew up, and even from hard times you have faced. It is also good to know that values can be different in different parts of the world. For example, in many Western countries like the United States or Europe, people often learn to value independence. Young people are told to move out of home early, earn their own money, and build their own lives. But in many Asian or Middle Eastern countries, family and community are seen as more important. People are expected to take care of their parents, stay close to relatives, and think about the group more than just themselves. Neither way is better or worse. They are just different, based on different values. Even different generations can have different values. Your grandparents might value hard work and stability because they lived through tough times like wars or economic problems. Your parents might focus more on education and getting a good career. And your generation might care about freedom, mental health, or being creative. These differences can sometimes cause arguments or confusion, especially if people try to live by someone else's values instead of their own. That is why it is so important to stop and think, what do I truly value? When you know the answer, life gets a bit clearer. Making decisions becomes easier. You do not feel as lost because you have that inner compass. Your values are pointing you in the right direction. Now, you might be thinking, I value many things. That is normal. Most people do. But some values are stronger than others. Those are your core values. They are the ones that really define who you are. The ones you would not want to live without. The goal is not to pick the right values. There are no right or wrong ones. The goal is to understand your own values, the ones that matter most to you. In the next part, we will talk about why these values are so important in everyday life. How do they affect your choices, your friends, your happiness? You might be surprised how much your values are guiding you, even if you do not notice it. But before we go on, I want to ask you to think about something. When have you felt truly proud of yourself? What were you doing? Why did it feel so good? Or, when have you felt really uncomfortable, like you were not being yourself? Those moments can tell you a lot about your core values. Your feelings often show the truth, even when your mind is mixed up. So stay with me. We are just starting. By the end, you will have a better idea of what matters to you and how to live more in line with it. Plus, you will practice your English in a real and motivating way. Why core values matter in real life. Now that we know what core values are, let us talk about why they matter. Not just as ideas, but in your real, everyday life. Values are not just thoughts in your head. They appear in your choices, your daily habits, your relationships with people, your goals, and even how you spend your free time. Whether you know it or not, your values shape your life every day. Let me give you a simple example to explain. Imagine a person who values freedom. They do not like feeling controlled or stuck in the same routine. If this person gets a job where every minute is planned, with no flexibility and lots of strict rules, they might start feeling unhappy, even if the job pays a lot of money. From the outside, it looks great, but inside, something feels wrong. Why? Because the job does not match their value of freedom. Over time, they might feel bored or frustrated. They could even get burned out, which means very tired emotionally. If they do not understand why, they might think it is their fault. But really, the job just does not fit who they are. This is why knowing your values is key. It helps you make better choices, not only about work, but about friends, romantic relationships, and how you use your time and energy. When what you do matches your values, life feels more natural. It is less stressful. You feel like you are being your true self, not acting like someone else. I will share a story from my own life. A few years ago, I took a job that seemed perfect. The salary was good. The office was nice and modern. The people were friendly in the interviews. But after a few months, I felt very tired. I did not want to go to work. I felt like I was losing part of who I am. At first, I did not know why. Then, I thought about it. One of my main values is growth. I love learning new things, facing challenges, and getting better. But in that job, everything was the same every day. I was not learning. I was not growing. I was just repeating tasks like a robot. That went against what I value most. Once I realized that, it made sense. It was not because I was lazy or the job was terrible. It just did not fit me. So, I looked for a new job. One where I could learn, teach others, and grow. When I changed, I felt energetic again. I was happy to wake up. That shows the power of living with your values. Sometimes, we need to set boundaries based on our values. Boundaries are like rules you set for yourself. For example, if you value family time, but your friends always ask you to go out late on weekends, or your boss wants you to check emails at night, you might feel stressed. You do not have time for your family. In this case, you need to say no more often. Not because you are mean, but because you are protecting what is important. Setting boundaries can be hard, but it is needed to stay true to your values. Remember, going against your values does not always feel bad immediately. You might stay in a wrong job or relationship for a long time before you notice. That is why being aware of yourself is important. Pay attention to how you feel in situations. Your emotions are like messages. You need to listen to them. Let me ask you, can you think of a time when you chose something that did not feel right, even if others said it was smart? Or when you stayed quiet to avoid trouble? How did that feel? Did it bother you later? Those moments are when your values are trying to talk to you. If you ignore them, you might feel regret. But if you listen, even if it is scary, you feel proud. You feel strong. You feel like you. Living your values is not always easy, but it is worth it. It means choosing what is most important, even if others do not like it. It means trusting your own ideas, even if people do not understand. It means building a life that suits you, not what others think is success or happiness. Next time you have a decision, big or small, ask yourself, does this choice match what I believe? That question can guide you. It helps you pick a path that feels right, not just looks right. When you make choices based on values, you will see changes. Your confidence grows. You have more peace. Your energy increases. In the next part, we will talk about what happens when you do not live in line with your values. Sometimes, the bad feelings are a sign that you are going the wrong way. So stay here. We are going deeper soon. Signs you're not living in alignment. So far, we have discussed what core values are and why they are important. Now, let us ask a key question. What happens when you do not live in alignment with your values? Alignment means your actions and life match your beliefs. When they do not, what happens? The answer is straightforward but strong. You feel it inside. Maybe not right away, but slowly. Something feels wrong. You get discomfort, not just in your body, but in your emotions and mind. It is deep. You might feel tired, angry, not motivated, or empty. You might not know why. One sign is stress. Stress is normal in life sometimes. But if you always live against your values, the stress stays. It grows. For example, if you value peace and calm, but your job is fast and high pressure, you push yourself every day. Inside, you feel like you are sinking. No vacation can fix it fully. The real problem is your life does not match your values. Another sign is burnout. Burnout is more than tiredness. It is when you feel emotionally empty, mentally worn out, and not caring about things anymore. You wake up and think, why bother? This happens when people work hard but in the wrong direction. Maybe they chase goals that are not theirs. Goals from society, parents, or friends. But inside, they feel nothing because the goals do not connect to their values. You might also have inner conflict. That is when your mind says one thing, but your heart says another. You agree to something, like a job or duty, but inside you want to pull back. It is not just fear. It is your values speaking. But many people learn to ignore that voice. They try to be practical or successful, but then they stop being themselves. The hard part is, from the outside, things can look perfect. Good job, nice things, happy smile. People think you are fine, but inside, you feel lost or sad with no reason. So, have you felt lost when everything seemed okay? That feeling is a message. It says, this is not me. This is not what I want. Sometimes, people hide these feelings with distractions. They stay busy, use phones a lot, or do other things. But the feelings do not go away. They get bigger. You might feel like your life is not yours. You ask, why am I doing this? Or is this all? That is why thinking about yourself is key. When you feel bad, do not ignore it. Ask, what value is being ignored? Maybe honesty, but you hide your thoughts. Maybe freedom, but your days are too full. Maybe creativity, but your work has no room for it. These create tension. Your body and mind notice. The good news? When you see this, you can change. Not everything at once. Small changes help you feel like you again. Say no more. Speak up, even if nervous. Do things that make you happy, not just busy. That can start big changes. If you feel lost or tired, do not just ask what is wrong. Ask what is missing. Ask which values are ignored. The answers are in you. You just need to listen. Next, we will talk about how to find your core values. Knowing them is the first step to alignment. Then, decisions are easier. Energy returns. Life feels meaningful. Stay with me. This can change your life. How to discover your own core values. We have talked about what core values are and how they impact life. Now you might wonder, how do I find my own core values? That is a good question. The answer is simple but deep. Finding values takes time, focus, and being honest with yourself. But you do not need special things. Just be curious, think, and listen to your inner thoughts. One great way is journaling. Write your ideas on paper. It helps see them clearly. Do not worry about perfect writing. Just be true. Ask, what do I care about most? Or what makes me proud? Describe a time you felt alive or peaceful. What were you doing? Who was there? What felt meaningful? Values often hide in those times. Another way is to think about high and low points. Recall a happy or proud time. What happened? What values were there? Maybe helping someone, kindness, creating, creativity, or learning, growth. Now think of a bad time. What was missing? Was a boundary broken? Did you stay quiet when you wanted to talk? Strong feelings, good or bad, show values. Try this activity now. Think of 3 times you felt proud, big or small. Why do they matter? Name the value. Courage, love, honesty. It might surprise you. Here is my story. When young, I always tried to make people happy. I said yes to everything, even if tired. But I got resentful. One day, a friend asked for help. I said yes, but missed my own plans. I felt bad. I asked why I do this. I realized I value balance. I want to help but care for me too. That changed me. I say no kindly now. I feel more like me. Values can come from people you admire. Think of someone you respect. What do you like about them? Courage, kindness? Often, those are your values too. Tip: start with 3 to 5 values. Do not try too many. They can change as you grow. That is okay. The goal is understanding now. No judging. It is knowing yourself. This gives clarity, connects inside and outside, brings confidence, peace, purpose. After this, take time. Reflect, write, talk to a friend. Values are in you. Listen. You will see life differently. Understand right and wrong. Feel stronger in choices. Feel at home in life. Next, challenges when living values. Knowing is not always easy to follow, with pressure and fear. But we will go through it. Common challenges and misunderstandings. We have covered what values are and how to find them. Now, let us look at challenges in living them. It is not always simple. You might feel excited or confused. That is fine. One big challenge is peer pressure, feeling you must act like others expect. If you value honesty, but work as cheating, it is hard to stand up. If kindness, but friends joke meanly, it is tough. Another is perfectionism, thinking you must be perfect every day. But no one is. Living values means not no mistakes. Notice, learn, try again. That is growth. Fear of judgment is common. If creativity is your value, but you fear sharing, you hide it. If freedom, but family wants traditional, it is hard. Misunderstanding. Values stay forever, but they can change. From independence to connection. That is evolving, not wrong. Confusion, overwhelmed finding them. What if I do not know? No wrong. Explore, try, change. Ask questions. Clarity starts there. You are not alone. Doubts happen, but they show where values are strong. Have you felt pressure to fit in? You know how hard, but freeing to be true. Be kind to yourself. Learning, growing, building life on what matters. That is brave. Living your values, small steps, real change. We know values, why matter, how find. Now, how to live them daily. Knowing is start. Real change is acting, not big changes. Small, every day. If honesty, tell partner feelings honestly. Give boss feedback respectfully. Small, but builds trust. If growth, read book, take course, learn 10 minutes daily. Tiny, but changes mindset. If freedom, set boundaries. Say no to draining things. Spend time recharging. A listener shared, valued family, but busy. Made 30 minutes phone off time with kids. Changed everything. Felt connected, fulfilled. Reminder, small honest steps. Choose one value. One action today. Hard at first, but consistent. Like seeds, water daily. Change comes. Go gently. Trust actions matter. Create life reflecting you. Questions for personal reflection. We talked living values. Now, reflect deeper. Questions help growth, clarity, decisions, connect to what matters. Slow down. Later, write them. Pause, feel. No judgment. 1. What truly matters most in life? Why? Beyond money, titles. What gives meaning? 2. When feel most like myself. Calm, energetic moments. What doing? Values there? 3. We're out of alignment. How feel? Notice yes when no. What change? 4. Small action this week for one value. Simple thing. 5. Who want to become? Values guide. Breathe. No tests. Invitations. Be curious, patient. Write later. Surprised by your wisdom. Now, episode end. Reflect on talked. Core values foundation for decisions, relationships, goals. Discovered by proud, frustrated moments. Show in daily life. Bring peace. Reflection questions for deeper. Thank you for listening, being curious. Learning English about expressing thoughts, values confidently. Growing as person. Final thought. Live values. Life yours. Grounded. No comparing. Trust self. Confidence. Happiness start. Listen again with notebook. Share. Follow Easy English Listening for more. You can live honest, brave, true. Understand values. Understand direction. Step by step, build life feels good inside. Until next, take care, stay curious, keep growing.